Hi there, welcome to PS 305, the Justice System in the American Political Process. This brief video will introduce you to the course material and show you around the Moodle site about where to find things and the syllabus as well, so that you know what the course is about and know where to find things, and also know a little bit about the assignments that are coming up in the course expectations. First of all, a little bit about me. My name is Dr. Amanda Ross Edwards, and I'm a associate teaching professor here at NC State in the Political Science Department, as well as the director of the Leadership in the Public Sector program. I've been here since 2004, and I live in Apex, and I have 3 kids. One is a freshman at Appalachian now, and the other is a junior at the magnet school here at State, and then the other one is a 7th grader at Apex Middle School. There are actually 3 TAs. We're very fortunate to have 3 TAs for this course. Alyssa Klosser, who's been with me for a year and a half now, is very experienced with the course. Ashley Pickrell, and Kevin Goodman, and they will be sending introductions to you shortly. So first of all, a little bit about this course. This course is supposed to be an introduction, or it's supposed to be a cover. It's supposed to cover the structure of the judicial system in the United States. Some of you are law and justice concentration majors in the political science major. Others of you are criminology majors, and I know this course is required for both of those. Many of you are also interested in law school, and this is a good course in terms of introducing you to how the judicial system works. So, first of all, the Moodle site. It's pretty straightforward. I tried to make sure it's kind of difficult. Hopefully by now you found the syllabus, which is right here. And everything on the syllabus should match the Moodle site, but usually every semester I've got 1 or 2 students that'll point out where I've put a wrong date or haven't synced it up. But hopefully it all matches and everything should be in place. So first of all, in the beginning here, in this first section of the Moodle site, you see the syllabus. Hopefully by now you've opened it. We'll take a look at that in a minute. There's some guidelines here for online discussion information, sort of what to think about, how to do discussion. I will notice here, you'll notice here too, there's a general discussion forum. Here's the thing, a lot of times students, and I've had this, the last time I taught this course, I was really impressed. So many students actually, without my prompting, would see things that connected to the course material and introduce it here. And some of the discussions that went on between students, I mean, I did happen to teach it when Justice Scalia passed away, for example. I was setting up to write a brief mini lecture kind of thing on it, and before I even got to it, and I was the next morning, a student had already posted something and there was discussion going on. Participation is 10% of your grade, and there are some participation assignments that you've probably noticed on the syllabus already, but participation is not just the required stuff or the stuff that I offer. I actually offer room for participation within the course. If you notice here on the left-hand side, I'm scrolling down here a little bit, there's some actually RSS news feeds here. And I've picked a few of them, and there's different articles related to the judicial system that you might find, or judiciary, that you might find interesting, and it might relate to what we've been talking about in class. So you might want to say, hey, that's really interesting, and then you can actually post a discussion up here in the general discussion forum to share with everybody. If you're going to use it towards, your participation credit, I would do it before the last 2 weeks of the course, because it really doesn't count that much when it's at the end. Here, which matches the syllabus as well, is a list of all the major assignments. So everything that goes towards your 100% for your grade is listed here. There's a police activity exclusionary rule, which is a group project. It's due on February 27th. Once I post it, which I will do it soon, once I post the actual assignment on Moodle, you'll see that there's multiple due dates leading up to that 2/27. That basically guidelines. Have you entered into the discussion forum? Have you met with your group? Have you posted initial? Have you established the Google presentation? So I sort of guide you through it in terms of this is what you should have done by now. As far as the rubric goes, a lot of people get very concerned that, well, it's not fair, I do all the work and this person does nothing and it draws me down or it hurts my grade. The rubric is set up in such a way that individuals do not get penalized if their group members aren't functioning. Yes, it does. If you have group members that aren't participating, it does mean that you may have to do a little more work with those other members that are participating, but your overall grade is not going to be impacted by someone who doesn't contribute. The only thing we have had trouble with is sometimes, and I know this happens, my son does this, is that they just go and try and do the whole project themselves, take care of it themselves. Well, that will actually count against you as well. You need to give your group members an opportunity to participate as well. There's 2 quizzes. And their due dates are here. Quiz 1, Quiz 2, they're not cumulative, so they usually will be based on what has come right before, between the, just prior to the quiz. And then there's a second group activity towards the end, and it really does, it reflects on the overall trial process, I guess, attorneys, judges, juries, and the criminal trial process. So that's to April 19th, way towards the end. Final exam has 2 parts to it. The first part is like the other quizzes. It's very short. It just references the material that came between quiz 2 and then this final exam part 1. Final exam part 2 is a cumulative take-home essay or open book, open note essay. So basically, you'll open it on May 4th, and then it'll be due on May 8th. So you can start thinking about that in terms of that's during final exams. And then, of course, there's participation in discussion boards and introductory activity. That's 10% activities, it should be. That's 10% of your grade. Now, I do something a little bit different here. A lot of people are like, well, how many points is it? And what do I, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you notice below this, I've listed all the participation assignments and activities that are included in the course. So, and there's the due dates and when they are, and they're different, like introduction activity. I put you into groups to make it easier so that, in other words, what it is, and you'll notice some of you have already said, well, I can't get into it. It says it's not available. It should be available to you now, because what it does, it's in a Q&A form, which means you cannot see your other group members' responses until you post your own. So that way, a lot of times when you post something, everybody's like, oh, well, I agree with Bob. Well, now you can actually think about it yourself, respond yourself, and then you enter in, and then you'll see everybody else's, and then you can have a discussion about it and come to a consensus. Federal courts activity is a little bit different. It does require you to enter in, and basically it's sharing the load of understanding of certain cases that you'll need to know for your quiz anyway. So it's almost like a group study thing. So instead of you having to research all the cases on your own and discuss their relevance, each of you takes a case, you come up with it, you put it together into a little presentation, whether it be Google presentation or you can do it in the form if you'd like. So that's that one. And the other ones are just individual discussion postings. We were very fortunate last semester when I recorded this course to have three guest speakers, which was great. The one is not listed here because he was actually a TA and a state trooper, and so he actually did a guest lecture and provided a PowerPoint, and it became some of those court cases became part of our course material. The other two, if you notice, the other 2 guest speakers here, 3 and 5, we're very lucky to have an FBI agent come talk to us. Most students last semester really liked it. And it's relevant to the discussions of law and justice. You hear some federalism issues. So there is a individual discussion posting on that is due after you view it. There's an individual attorney's discussion posting, which is also helpful to do for studying for quiz 2, or quiz 3, I think, quiz 2. And then there's the individual discussion posting on, we were very fortunate to have State Supreme Court Justice Paul Newby come speak. Unfortunately, the recording got messed up a little bit, but there was enough of the posting, the speaking, that you could, students still were able to get some good material out of it. So I did do an individual discussion posting on that. So these are all provided participation assignments and activities. Like I said, you're welcome to bring in your own in the general discussion board. So below that, you'll notice that everything, I tried to make the course so that there's 3 parts to the course. There's part 1, which is sort of the introduction to law and justice and introduction to some of the structure. And then part 2 talks about the participants in the process. And that's when you get to police, attorneys, judges, juries. They're all part of the process. They're participants in the process. And then the last part of the course talks about the overall trial, civil and criminal trial processes. So there's 3 parts. So I tried to sort of structure it that way. And I tried to put the assignments, the part 1 and 2 assignments are listed up here so you know what's coming, whether they be required or for participation. I have not opened the exclusionary rule activity requirements yet. I will do that shortly, but right now we're still working on the other stuff. So I will post that probably within a couple weeks, so you'll have that. So don't panic, it's not there because I haven't put quiz 1 yet. I'm going to change it a little bit from last semester, obviously, so I reincorporate it, redo it. So you'll see that. That's where you'll take your quiz. It'll be right there. So Going through the syllabus, going through the Moodle site, it should match up to the syllabus. You'll notice the first activity is due January 17th. It's a group activity, but you won't, and I might just post it so you can see all your group members, but there's so many people in this class, there's 100. So each group has about 10 members in it. And so you'll know once you respond to the question which I posted, which you should see, then your other group members will be able to see it. Not everybody always responds to the group activities. They should, but don't panic. You know, if you're a good student and you enter into it, don't worry about it. Just respond with your fellow participants who did follow directions. So don't worry about it. Maybe only 6 of you will enter in, and then you do the activity. You're not responsible for those that don't choose to do the work. You just participate with those that do. And I provided, there's the PowerPoint, and then there's the lecture. So each of these, the lecture and the PowerPoint. Weeks 2, 3, and 4, American Justice System. Once again, you can see the required readings. There's some links here to, when it says chapter 2, 3, and 4, that's from your textbook. And you do need to get the newest edition because a lot of it's changed since 2012. You wouldn't think it has, but it has. I mean, because 2012 means it's really 2011, so that's a long time ago. So yeah, and there's links to different relevant course cases here. And then once again, the assignments, which are further down. I just listed that's what's coming up, but you'll see them further down. Some of these things, if I say, you can kind of see it's faded out. It says Lecture 2, Part 2, Law and Justice. It's available January 17th because you have an assignment due January 17th. So once you've submitted that, then you can actually view our discussion in class of that assignment. So that way you get the follow-up. Okay, so like I said, it goes down, you were looking for, here's the discussion on the FBI form on FBI Special Agent Denny Kinney, and then here's the group work on federal courts, which should be posted in the Moodle forum by January 26th by midnight. So it kind of goes through, you should see everything here. Police search and seizure, this is when we do the first participants. As I said, Justice System Actors Part 1. I have not posted the police exclusionary rule activity yet. It's just telling you that it's coming and that's where it is. All these are links to the different articles. Everything should be on Moodle, so you wouldn't have to go to reserves. If something's missing and you're looking for it, you can find it on reserves. Once again, all the lectures are here, PowerPoints are here, and if there's any discussions, it would be here as well. Okay, so the course goes through, that's kind of how it works. You should see everything. All the way to the bottom. So, and like I said, everything should line up exactly as I've described it. Just to take a quick look at the actual syllabus, which I've already pulled up, but you can download it from the top. This is what the syllabus looks like, and it really should match up almost exactly to what you see on Moodle. The only thing different is that you're going to see the course learning objectives. This is what you should get out of the course once you're done. And then here's the required textbook, which is Neubauer and Meinhold's 2017 Judicial Process, Law Courts, and Politics in the United States. So I would definitely get the newest edition, either from the bookstore or Amazon, wherever's cheapest is fine. And once again, it lays out all the activities that are part of your required major course requirements, and then does the actual participation assignments and activities as well. It does describe the newsfeed that I talked about on the what's actually the left-hand side of the Moodle page. And then goes through everything else. So hopefully that makes sense. I know I've gotten a lot of questions from you, some of you about, well, I'm not seeing myself as part of a group. It's not coming up. Please, if there's any problems, feel free to contact me, and we'll work through it. Sometimes with the Q&A form, the reason that you might not have had access to it is even though the question you could see it, I have to actually post, because I'm the one who's the only member of all groups, I have to actually post the first question, and then you should be able to provide a response from that point forward. Other than that, I'm very much looking forward to the semester. Please contact me if you have any questions. What we will be doing in the near future, I'll be meeting with Alyssa, Ashley, and Kevin. And in order to facilitate that, that each of you feels like you have quicker response, what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the class and divide it up amongst the 4 of us so that each one of us is responsible for a certain section of the course. So that way you know exactly who to contact and get a quick response, and develop sort of a rapport with each one of us. I mean, I of course am available to anybody at any time. I don't have necessarily set office hours. I'm on campus most days actually. I do have meetings because of my role as a director, but I am around, and I can always, if you want to set up an appointment with me, I'll be there. You can reach me by phone, you can reach me by email. Email is probably the best way. But like I said, if there's questions about course material, we want to make sure that you guys are responded to as quickly as possible. And you should have an answer from me within 24 hours, no problem. Other than that, welcome to 305. Looking forward to it.